Hi there, welcome to today's Health and Wellness Expo. This is an episode that we have brought to you by Jenny Allen from the Lotus Centre, which is a natural health centre. Hi Jenny, welcome.
Hi, Hazel, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You've been having a good day?
Yes, very good, thank you. Nice and relaxing today.
That's great. So Jenny, do you want to tell me a bit more about your natural health centre, a bit about yourself, what your natural health centre offers, what you do, what different modalities you use, all that kind of stuff? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I realised today I was sort of counting it up that I'm in my 20th year of massaging, including the year of study I did. So I studied here in Hastings in 2001, a one-year diploma in therapeutic massage. And after that, actually, I went on and studied a three-year diploma in naturopathy and herbal medicine at the same college.
Nice.
And as a part of that diploma, I also studied reflexology. So my two main modalities in terms of hands-on work for a long time were massage and reflexology. Well, pretty much still are. I also have recently completed some Reiki training, so I do a bit of energy healing as well. So for many years, I practiced as a massage therapist. I also taught at the Lotus, what was the Lotus Holistic Centre then, the college that I trained at.
Yep.
Taught massage for many years, and then about 5 years ago, the college was sold. I continued to work for the new owners, and then about 2.5 years ago, they closed down. And people kept saying to me, "Oh, you should take it over." And it was like, well, there's nothing to take over.
Mm.
The current owners owned the diplomas, they owned the government funding, and they tootled off back up to Auckland where they have another college.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was really sad that the Lotus Holistic Centre, which had been in Hastings for 30 years teaching massage and allied natural health modalities, was closing down. So I just started to think about what I could do.
Yep.
So I couldn't become a private training establishment. The government weren't allowing any new schools to open, and having seen my family members run it for 20 years, I didn't particularly want all the stresses that involved.
Yeah, fair
So
play.
I managed to retain some of the property. So I'm on the same site as the old school,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time I intentionally kept the name Lotus because it was so well known in the community. That may not have been the best thing to do because there is some confusion around what's happening there now. But anyway, it's 2 years down the track, 2.5 years I can celebrate being in business as a natural health centre.
Yeah,
So
nice.
on site I have 4 clinic spaces and one very large classroom space.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I'm not teaching diplomas, but I do teach interest courses in massage and reflexology.
Mm-hmm.
And I also rent out the classroom space to yoga teachers, meditation groups, other massage training that's not diploma, not government regulated.
Yeah.
And yeah, evening classes and meditation, crystal ball meditations, all sorts of lovely things.
Mm-hmm.
And on site, I have 2 permanent practitioners on site. One of them is a holistic facialist who does
Yeah.
beautiful facials, but also gua sha, which is a Chinese lymphatic drainage. So working
Oh,
the
wow.
face with beautiful rose quartz rollers and encouraging lymphatic drainage of the face. And she also does Reiki. So she's an absolutely stunning beauty therapist specializing in facials. And also, so that's, they're both Stephanie. So that's one of my
Oh,
Stephanie.
it's Stephanie
The other
one.
Stephanie, well, yeah, we could argue which was which. Stephanie, yeah, Stephanie T
Yeah.
and Stephanie H. The other Stephanie is a massage therapist like myself.
Yeah.
She's without going into it too much, the national qualifications have changed over the last few years. So she's just qualified in wellness and relaxation massage. So not specific muscular techniques, more just relaxing a person. But
Yeah.
she also does biofield tuning, which is working with tuning forks on and around the body to clear energy fields. So
Okay.
past traumatic events in our life leave an imprint in our energy field, which can affect our health and well-being, mentally, emotionally, physically, throughout our life. And by using sound vibrations in that energy field, Steph can clear blocks and past trauma.
Fascinating
Yeah,
stuff, hey?
yeah. So
Fascinating stuff.
she's
I've
yeah,
learned so much from all the different interviews that I've been doing with different people, and just my own experience of just talking with different people as I meet them about the different things they do. And energy fields, I'm only really coming to grasp over the last few months about energy fields and all sorts of different sort of conversations.
yeah.
And it's pretty interesting stuff. You really need to, like, it's amazing what there is when you're open to it. So yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah. And some of these things might sound a bit weird, and there might not be science to back it up, but anecdotal evidence, just clients' testimonials. And one of the interesting things about Steph's work is, and this is pushing it even a little bit out there, is that she can do it by distance. So her work is still available to be done right now. She doesn't have to have you in the room. People.
That really fascinates me, and I do believe there's some science behind it, but you've got
Yeah.
to be pretty clever to understand the whole quantum physics side of things and how energy works. But yeah, I was speaking with a couple of other people that we've chatted with, that they can also do their the modalities that they practice remotely as well. So it's a lot more energy draining, but you basically use your own body as a surrogate. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
interesting stuff. Hey.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, so the two Stephs are my permanent on-site practitioners, and then I have a whole host of people who come in just casually. I've got a
Yep.
psychotherapist who's there 1 day a week in consultations. I've got another energy healer, and yeah, so my fourth clinic space is available just if someone wants it to rent for an hour or a half a day or a day at a time. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. So it's a real holistic natural health center. You cover lots of different areas. That's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So, oh, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. That's really cool. So I'm assuming, given a lot of things are hands-on for you, that you currently have your doors closed as a result of our current situation.
Yes, yes. As soon as it went to level 3, obviously I couldn't practice anymore. So really Monday, whenever it was, a week and a
Day
half
blur.
ago.
Day blur's happening.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. It was like, okay. I mean, even before that, I was starting to work out, whether I ethically should be practicing still. And then obviously, yeah, that Monday it was boom, doors closed.
Yeah.
And yeah, as a massage therapist, I just was like, well, that's it. That's my work. I can't work now. And it's really taken me, the last week and a half to think about what I can do with this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me initially it was, well, because I love the hands-on, I love working with people, making them feel better, and I'm really not the best at working on my business. So for
Yep.
me, this time is I'm going to work on my business. I mean, even just administrative tasks like getting all my clients into MailChimp, which they're not all in there yet.
Yep.
Reviewing my business plan. I belong to Venus Women in Business Networking Group, and they have
Fabulous group.
yes, it is. They have an online business program that I intend to, crack into over the next few weeks.
That's great, because of the type of practice you have, where you are hands-on all the time. It's hard to get to that kind of stuff in the daily, and by the time you've done however many massages through a day, and you come home at the end of the day and you've got children and all of those sorts of things, and then it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I really can't be bothered doing that stuff. And
absolutely.
those sorts of things really just do get set aside for a rainy day, don't they? Yeah.
They do. So I really have no excuse now not to crack on and get those done.
But how good is that, like to
Yeah.
like, yep, you can't practice hands-on right now, but I tell you what, I reckon there's going to be plenty of people out there that are going to want a massage as soon as the doors are able to be back up and open. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I feel very, very lucky that my business will survive
mhm,
at least 4 weeks, I mean, if not longer,
mm,
closed. And I know that unlike some businesses, I should just be able to open my doors at the end and people will come. I
yeah,
guess financially it might be not that feasible for some people, but yeah, in terms of I deserve it, I need it,
yeah,
in terms of relaxation, stress reduction, or,
yeah,
muscular pain, of course,
yeah.
people are going to be coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have all these people that have either done themselves some injuries over the time going out and exercising, but then can't get any relief from a physio or
Yeah,
masseuse, and they're going to be all hobbling and going, oh, thank goodness I can finally get a massage and get these knots out,
Yeah.
and whatever it is that that's been niggling at them. Or people that have been sat on their backsides at home because they live on a small section or in a busy area that they can't get out and exercise so much, and then they'll be back out, you know, straight into the gym or something and do themselves an injury and need you then. So
Probably.
I'm sure you'll be busy again once your doors do open again. But you know, like you say, you know, you can get all these rainy day things done so that you can be working more efficiently when you do open, and you know, you can provide that support and knowledge to people that, you know, this is where you're at. You know, if you get all your MailChimp up and organized, then you're able to send out newsletters and all of those sorts of things to your clients.
Absolutely, yeah. I just someone said something really interesting on Facebook on I think one of the first days of lockdown, and it was a list of the things that we didn't have to achieve over this time. Like, we don't have to write a novel, you know, we don't have to repaint the whole house, we don't have to do all of the jobs, you know. Like, I think it's really important to not set the bar too high for this time. Okay, we really just need to survive, and we need to survive in the least, you know, the least stressful way that we can. And that is something that I did want to talk about and impart knowledge to anyone listening to this, of course, and to my friends and family, and spread the news about stress reduction. Yeah, so as a massage therapist, even as soon as I graduated, the people that came to me for massages again and again and again came for full body relaxation. So although I was trained in therapeutic massage, you know, treating a sore muscle by deeply with specific strokes to release muscle tension, time and time again people came to me for full body relaxation, and so I got very good at it, and I love giving a relaxation massage. The therapeutic massage didn't ever stop, and for several years I taught therapeutic massage as well. I taught muscular anatomy, so I know the muscles of the body very well. So I do a mixture in my practice now, but even if you come to me with a sore neck or a sore hamstring or whatever, yes, I'll treat that muscle specifically, but probably about, I mean, anything between 50 to 90% of my massage will be about relaxing you. Okay, I want you to feel relaxed, I want you to feel special, I want you to feel blissed out. I don't play music if you don't want it, I won't talk to you if you don't want me to talk to you. You know, it's all really such a part of the package. And I thought about that. I've been thinking about that in the last couple of weeks, is that although I can't physically relax muscles now, I can encourage people to not be stressed.
Yeah.
If I explain that?
Go for it.
Yeah. So I did just want to, I mean, I've been really interested in the whole stress response in the body for a long time, and I did just want to briefly talk about that. So without being too complicated. So the stress response in the body is a life-saving biochemical reaction.
Yeah.
So in the days of cavemen, we needed to run away from the saber-toothed tiger. Okay, so that was what a stressor was. Being chased by a tiger is going to stress you out. And what happens is that the body reacts to that by, well, lots of things happen, but essentially the adrenals come into action. The cortisol is released from the adrenals, and that raises heart rate and blood pressure, increases blood flow to the skeletal muscles so you can run, shuts off your digestive organs because you don't need to digest that dinner when you're trying to save your life. All these things happen to save your life. And then what happens also is when you're running away from a threat like that, you're burning off. Oh, the other thing is that sugar is released. Okay, so sugar is released as a quick form of energy. You burn off the sugar, you run away from the tiger, you save your life, you relax, all is good, stress is gone, the body goes back to normal. In this day and age, our bodies don't know the difference between a stress like running away from, you know, being chased, or, you know, running to cross the road because there's a bus screaming down the road at you. And it doesn't know the difference between that and stressing out about paying your next bill or being stuck in traffic. So stress, the body doesn't know the difference between those stresses. So a lot of us in this day are living in perpetual stress, especially at the moment. Oh my God, can I pay my mortgage? Will I have a job at the end? Oh my God, I can't get away from my family. You know, all of these stresses. And the other thing is that if you're sitting around in an office job all day or sitting around at home binging on Netflix, you're not burning off the sugar that is released in the stress response. Okay, so it's really a vicious cycle. So yeah, the important thing is to manage your stress and to be as relaxed as you can in this time. And things that you can do for that is, yeah, meditation and yoga for a starter.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really important thing for people to understand, because, you know, the more stressed you are, that then compromises your immunity as well. So, oh, my light's all going a bit funny. So yeah, you know, like it's fundamentally important for us to really manage ourselves, to not be stressed so much. I'm an adrenal fatigue survivor, and
Oh, right.
yeah, so I have lived and breathed the saber-toothed tiger 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
so
for those watching who don't know what that is, and I did have a medical doctor ask me once what adrenal fatigue was. So it's very known, talked about in natural health circles, but some of the, you know, orthodox practitioners don't even believe in it. But
that's correct.
long-term stress, the adrenals pump out adrenaline, cortisol, all of the hormones they're pumping out, as you well know, Hazel. And actually, the adrenals just shut down. They get too tired. They're overworked, and they just stop working. Adrenal burnout, adrenal fatigue. Yeah.
And then you know, your adrenals are stuff, so your thyroid's working overtime to try and keep up with, because that thyroid's the wingman to your adrenals, and then your reproductive system goes up the wazoo as well, because, you know, it's your whole endocrine system. Yeah, we could go on and on and on about the information I have learned over time. But yeah, it's really, really important. Like, you know, when I was in my worst spaces with that, it was like I was living, and like I'd go to sleep for 8 to 10 hours at night, and I'd wake up like I'd been living in a parallel universe, like completely exhausted. So
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you don't manage your stress, and you don't really acknowledge, and you just keep firing on all cylinders constantly, you can't keep up. I actually, I don't know if I've done it in an interview talking with someone on here or not, but it's like having gas burners on your cooker and having them all turned up, and things are either boiling, you know, you're trying to manage things either boiling over or boiling dry or whatever's happening. You can't keep up with it. And so yeah, I work very consciously on making sure that I'm not stressed, that I can get myself into a nice calm space. I lose it at my kids, and, you know, and feel myself go into that space. It's like, whoa, pull back.
Absolutely.
It's easy to snap into that fight or flight. It's really easy to snap into that space. But there's, you know, I was about to say there's not a lot of reason for us to be in that space right now, but I know that a lot of people are, because emotionally their thoughts and worries are taking them there. Not physically, but their thoughts and worries are setting that stress reaction off in their bodies, because, like you said, our bodies don't know whether it is the saber-toothed tiger or it's just a thought.
Yeah.
Same way.
Yeah, and I think having an awareness that you are stressed is the first step, because I think I think when my kids were young, particularly, I don't even think I really noticed when I got cross with them or stressed. It was just, you know, life is so busy that you don't even recognize it. So even for some people, hearing us have a conversation about it, just have a think about your life and think about your stressors, the things that stress you out. And then that's the first step. You might not even become less stressed. You might still react the same way to those stresses, but just keep noticing them happening. And then over time, you can then start to catch yourself in the moment. And then what do you do? So then you go, okay, well, I'm not going to sit on the ground in the lotus position and meditate right now with my kids running around me. That's not practical. But just count to 10. walk
Yeah.
outside, take a deep breath, just baby steps, all of these little baby steps
Yeah.
until you're ready to sit and meditate for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Because
That's
sorry, Hazel, I'm hardly letting you get a word
Oh,
in.
no, this is more about you than me. But I interviewed Faye, and she does body talk stuff. But at the end, she brought in a lovely thing. It was like event, response, and outcome. And it's literally that whatever the event is, think about how you're going to respond to it, because that then changes the outcome. And
Yeah.
her analogy was, your child dropping a glass on the floor. You could have an explosive reaction, but then the outcome of that's not great. You end up with an upset child and upset you, and you're in a stress space and all of those sorts of things. But, alternatively, the kid drops the glass. You're like, okay, just stay there so you don't stand on the glass. But look at how much, how it exploded. Like, look how far it's got, and use it as an education. Is totally different if you just take that split second to make a choice between the way that you're going to react to the situation. And I need to
Yeah, and
do a lot more with, my reactions with the kids, but I'm making a really conscious effort to, I am not going to argue with you on this. This is the reaction you're getting from me.
Yeah.
So,
And you might do it wrong 99 times, or you might, maybe wrong is not the right word, in your old pattern 99 times. But if you can do it once, then wow, what a celebration. And for you and the other person or people involved in that situation.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of stuff like that we can learn. And we have the time, I'm always like, oh no, I haven't got time to play Snap or do this or do that with the kids. And it's like, well, actually, I do have time right now, because I don't have to be anywhere. We don't have to be anywhere in particular. The kids get up whenever they want. I'm really enjoying the calmness of the mornings, of me not having to be cracking the whip to get in your uniform, get your breakfast, get your teeth cleaned, get out the door, like all that stuff just to get them to school in the morning. It's like, get them to school and it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Because my kids don't want to move that fast. They want to do what they want to do. So I'm literally letting them largely. But yeah, it's regularly well after 9:30 before I finally say, the kitchen is closing in 10 minutes. Get breakfast now. Otherwise you wait till lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And now is the time that we can appreciate the different way the house feels, or the home feels. Because as soon as we drop back down to level 3 or 2 and life sort of resumes, who knows what it's going to be like, we're going to get straight back into that busy time where the stresses push our buttons as well. So twofold is feel the differences now, and what works and what is sustainable. And the other one is, what was the other one? The other one is learn some techniques now, like, maybe not meditation. I can't meditate. I am an active relaxer. So I guess so for me, sitting on a cushion and trying to meditate is I'm not patient enough. It's my life's goal, but what I'm doing is yoga. So yoga works for me, even the really slow, still stuff, because there's still movement. And if neither of those work for you, then get out into the garden, or go for a very gentle walk so that you're still relaxing, but build up, use this time if you can to build up a daily practice, or just a moment of most days. And that's the other thing, is don't think you failed on your daily practice if you miss a day. Like, oh right, it's like dieting, isn't it? Oh well, I've eaten cake, so I might as well just eat cake every day now. The daily practice, but try and take some time every day, or every couple of days, or miss a day and go back the next day, just to relax in a way that you like relaxing.
I think that's really, really wise words, Jenny, to share with us. And like for me, you're just mentioning about, when we return to what will become our next new normal, and what that looks like. I'd like to think that from this time, that people are consciously noticing the differences, where they're finding the calmness and those sorts of things, and that they make conscious choices about what they go back to. So that they make those conscious choices that, actually all through this time when we've been at home, I've been doing 9:30 bedtimes, or I've been going for a walk every morning between 6:30 and 7, or, you know, whatever it is, or I've been doing online yoga, or, you know, whatever it happens to be, that is something that you weren't doing before, but that you have incorporated, that's given you this calm serenity of some description in your life. Retain it, you know, like make that
Absolutely.
conscious effort to retain it. It might look a bit different, like you might go to a yoga class as opposed to doing it online at home, but make that conscious choice to take those things forward into our new normal when life does begin to resume. Because that's my real hope, is that people have really realized there's a lot of things that we don't need, and there's a lot of things that we can actually live without, and it makes for a calmer, gentler space. And yeah, I'm kind of hopeful that our next normal isn't just us all diving straight back onto that rat wheel and running as fast as we can, thinking we're trying to catch up again from wherever we were. So yeah, it's valuable advice. So you've been doing, you mentioned you did an online yoga class. How is
Yes.
it someone you know?
Yeah, so I know lots and lots of yoga teachers locally, but I guess locally doesn't even matter at the moment if you're doing an online class. So I'm happy to post a couple of links down. A lot of yoga teachers in Hawke's Bay are offering, they've got set structure. Some of them are sticking to the old structure of times. Some of them have mixed it up a bit. But basically, here in Hawke's Bay, the going rate seems to be a $10 charge. So the yoga teachers are putting their bank details in, and I guess it's just honesty.
Yeah.
So the $10 is less than most of them would normally charge. I guess you're not using their power and going to, using their equipment.
Yeah.
But then there's also a lot of free ones. So the class I did this morning, this beautiful woman, Paula, her company is Yo Yoga NZ, Yo meaning your own yoga, Yo Yoga. And I did an hour-long what was it called? Spinal flow class.
Nice.
And it was a freebie. I messaged her and said, how can I pay? And she said, no, that one's on me. So there is free stuff out there.
Yeah.
Or yeah, if you want to support someone, $10 for an hour-long class, yeah.
And that's a nice way to be able to support people as well. Like there are so many people that are in these service industries for health and wellness that are really struggling right now, because they work one-on-one, they work physically with us, and they're really struggling right now. So if they are offering things and it's a tenner, then help them. Like I heard watched a little video that Jacinta did talking about the subsidy that they're pushing into as many pockets as they can. She said, don't hold on to it. It helps the economy if you spend it. So make sure you're spending it, not holding on to it. So, sending a little bit, $10 here or $10 there to help somebody by doing one of their classes, you get the wellness benefit, but they also get a little bit of financial benefit out of it as well. So don't always look for the freebies, or, if you're in that space where, you need a freebie, then by all means. But if it's someone that 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 you really enjoy their classes and those sorts of things, then by all means.
Absolutely. And every individual, you'll know whether you have got $10 spare this week. I mean, I'm not particularly financially hard off thanks to the government assistance.
Yeah.
There are mortgage holidays or perhaps rent negotiations, and so if you've got $10 or $30 if you do 3 classes a week, then for sure support those people who's been compromised. Right. Yeah. And these yoga teachers, it's a bit like me as a massage therapist. It's weird not massaging and not helping people and talking to people and listening to people and relaxing people. And the yoga teachers will be the same. They love it. So get on there and support them. And
I imagine it'll be really weird for you going back to massaging again, like all those muscles that you're just so toned and used to using all the time. You have a month, or maybe it'll even be a bit more, of not massaging people. It just came to me. I'm like, imagine that the first week back's going to be exhausting.
It's really interesting. So I'm quite interested. I'm intentionally not getting on the scales, but I am interested to see what wins out the fact that I'm eating more, which I undoubtedly am, or the fact that I'm exercising more, because I'm absolutely exercising more. The kids and I have been on an hour bike ride every day, just around in our community,
Yep.
biking heaps.
Yep.
Yoga much more. It was my New Year's resolution, which I don't normally make, but my New Year's resolution was to get on the mat every day. I failed abysmally, but I'm attempting to do some yoga every day.
Yep.
I've got some weights. I've got some hand weights here from Kmart. So trying to keep up the upper body strength. I'm getting the lower body strength from cycling, but it's like, what's going to win out here, the eating more or the exercise more? I'm really hoping that I can make this the exercise win, because I don't want to be an unfit, weak, lazy blob when I go back to work in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. I'm consciously making the time in the mornings for me to move my body, because I haven't been. It's just one of those things, it's like kind of jamming it in between, it's getting darker and going for a walk and all of those sorts of things. And I'm making that conscious choice to be moving more. And I've been doing a lot of sitting, doing these interviews and everything. So like I'm sort of moving around a little bit because, like, my hips get tight. It's like the more movement I do, the better my mobility. So it's like I've just got to keep encouraging myself. But it's like I've actually got no excuse. I've really got no excuse at this point in time to not be moving. So
no, exactly. Yeah, we've all got the time. I mean, I know it's very different, depending on what job you have. There are some people who are either going out to work in the supermarkets or in the hospitals or whatever, the same amount that they would, or there are people working the same hours, but now they're at home with children around, and I know that their life will be very different from mine, where essentially if I don't want to do anything on my business, I wouldn't have to. I can just work on my house and exercising and eating well and all of that, spending time with my kids, playing games, like you said. But most of us, I think everyone I know that I talk to is taking time to do good things for themselves, like exercising. And if we, in a month's time, if we're used to going, oh, I haven't been on a bike ride today, or I haven't got the yoga mat out, mate, build up those habits now, so that even like, I think we said this already, Hazel, but let's say it again because it's really important, is that in a month's time those habits will be ingrained and you'll find a way to fit it into your life, because you'll be used to it. I mean, how long does it take to form a new habit? 3 times or something, it'll be well ingrained.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I think that's really, really great tips, just to, for people just to really think about, it's not hard. And the positivity that your body and your mind will have as a result of you moving your body, getting outside, getting the fresh air, the vitamin D, all those things, they all add on top of each other, and if you're just doing those little things, you can actually be making a really huge difference to your life. So do keep adding those little things in, and finding that calm, like doing calm things. So, exercise, you don't have to go out like a bull out of the gate and be sprinting down the street. Like you said, Jenny, even just a gentle walk, just move the body, free the body up, clear the mind, all of those sorts of things. That's really good for our stress response too. So, that's really, really awesome. Really awesome.
Yeah, go for a walk around the block and look for teddy bears. I went for a bike ride with my daughter yesterday, and it's I get a real buzz when I see teddy bears in someone's window. It's great.
We're out on a lifestyle block, so our teddy bear's hanging off the basketball hoops. So people can see it. He's got an umbrella over the top of the hoop, and he's hanging like a little parachute underneath, so that people can see. And
nice.
We've got them hanging in trees. And my husband said he saw late yesterday afternoon when he was out for a walk that someone set up a teddy bear's picnic.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's some there's some creative teddy bear placements out there. Yeah.
And that's really nice, because it's encouraging the kids to go out and look and see different things and go out and do stuff, because obviously they can't go and play in the playgrounds that they're used to playing in.
No.
So it is different for them as well, as much as it's different for us. So it's really cool.
Yeah, because I live quite in central Hastings, like quite near the CBD, but it's all residential around me, and I get out walking or biking every day, and the amount of people families, obviously, walking and biking together is phenomenal. Like, it's just, yeah, like, you know, you'd never see anyone walking around Hastings. Is, you know, what's wrong with that person? They're walking, but no, everyone's out on foot and bikes. So many bikes. It's great.
Awesome, isn't it? I'm
Yeah.
really liking seeing how many people are getting out, and we've got glorious weather at the moment as well, which
Yeah.
is so lovely. So yeah, it brings a smile to my face as well when I see people out there cycling and doing things, and you know, and you know, mums and dads on bikes that you would never normally see on bikes with their kids. Or out scootering and those sorts of things. It's just really, really lovely
Yeah.
indeed. So,
Yeah.
so yes, everyone keep it up. It's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, Jenny, I won't take too much more of your time. Thank you so much for joining us here. So Jenny is the Lotus Centre in Hastings, and we'll put her contact details and everything down in the comments. So when those doors do open again, all you people over in the Hawke's Bay, go and hang out with Jenny and go and get one of her amazing massages to help you keep nice and calm once the new normal takes off.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing your thoughts and information around us just managing that stress response, because I think that is super, super important. It's come up. It's a thread that runs through so many of these interviews, so many of these people, so many different wellness practitioners are, you know, you've got to look after your body, and the best way you can do that is get out of that stress and get
Absolutely.
space. So
Yeah.
if nothing else, just work on that, team. You know, just really, really work on dropping out that, being in that stressful space. I know your worries will take you there sometimes, but try to be in that everything's going to be okay. You know, everything's going to be okay, and just really appreciate that, you know, the present time and what you do have, and what you can do. So yeah. But thank you so much, Jenny. It's been so lovely chatting with you. Really
Likewise.
time. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with Jenny, her contact details are in the bottom. Thanks very much for joining us, Jenny.
Great.
Again
Thanks,
soon.
Hazel. Bye.